Hello, thank you for tuning in to this section of reads. These readings are always valid for whenever you come to them. This is on YouTube channel James 13 Wicca, just in case it's floating around somewhere else. That's where it's supposed to be. The card information and the dice, all that's down below if you're interested in what I'm using for these readings. I'm also, if you're near Herkimer, New York, I am doing in-person readings at Renewed and Rescued. Email me for details if you want an appointment. Thank you very much to those of you who've already reached out. I appreciate it. That's all I really have for this part. Besides that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email, same information. Thank you very much for watching, and let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Leo? Huh. Yours came out perfect number of cards. I do 12 cards with a 10 card spread, if that makes sense. For the basic 10 card spread, I add 2 more, just in case you're wondering. I don't know why I'm adding that, but you know, the Moonlight card too. Did I shuffled these? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. The reason I'm like tripping on this just a little bit is because it starts off very similar to Aries. It's going to be different, definitely different. This is the first card out. Aries had the same thing, so that's like okay. I'm like the rest of these are different, so you have a totally different story. But I feel like the other similarity I'm kind of getting here with your story and Aries, if there is any conjunction, so if you're dealing with an Aries or you have an Aries connection here, you're doing your best to do what you believe is the right thing. And I feel like that's the first thing I'm going into is like, not just that you're trying to do the right thing, because I feel like it's like, well, obviously, but maybe you're forcing yourself a little bit to do the right thing or try to do the right thing. And that might be what's in question here. Is that going to really work long term? So whatever this situation is, you got a very big heart for it. You're trying to do what you're supposed to do. There may be some overthinking on this situation. You're trying to do what you feel like you're supposed to do. And I feel like I'm trying to stabilize this. I'm trying to make this make as much sense as possible. You're probably, and take this with a grain of salt, restricting yourself. If that's the case, you're doing it for very good reason. You're like, no, this is what needs to happen. This is what's right. And Leo energy is typically all over the place, but very successful. You have your own way of doing things. But whatever this is, I feel like I'm not allowing myself to have that random nature. And I get like the King of Pentacles showing up here too. You got the King of Cups, the King of Pentacles, very passionate energy, very, I need to do this way. This is very important to me. This is very important that this gets its best chance it can. And from what I've seen from other people, this is how you get the best result possible. So I'm going to do it this way because I need this to work out best result possible. That's how it's just going to go. You're putting a lot of effort into this, and I get that, and I like it. It's not difficult for Leo to have the energy to do it, but it can be very stagnating to do it the same way or have it very restrictive. But for whatever reason, you're doing what you have to do. You're not stepping into your power. Those two together make me feel like you're not. You're a dynamic person. You're not by chance in this situation. You have certain gifts and talents. And having control is a good thing. There's a level of control is necessary, yes. The situation might be a little bit over-controlled at this point, and it may be a little bit unnerving to think of it that way. Kind of like, yeah, but I need this to go right. I need this to be good. I don't have that option. And I keep going like, I don't have that option. I don't have that option. Maybe you're not allowing yourself to even consider it, because I feel like you're not stepping into your power, literally. These two going different ways make me feel like you're not. And you are very dynamic, and you have a lot of success and a lot of talent. And I literally feel like I'm afraid to use my talent, is what I keep getting from this. I'm afraid to use it. Not like you're shaking in your boots, but it's kind of like I'm afraid of what the outcome will become if I just go with my natural energy, and I don't want that. And I'm going slow, and I'm going careful. I'm trying to be as precise as possible. I'm not allowing myself to do this. I'm not allowing myself to do that. And very, very, very bought into it. Very, very invested into this way of doing things at this moment. But you are a dynamic energy. You're not just here just to fill a spot. There's a reason you're here, because of who you are. Again, some restriction, it seems like that makes sense, but I feel like there's over-restriction here. All right, we're going to go into this stuff here. There might be a couple levels of why. It depends on what you're dealing with. Take it with a grain of salt. Somebody is restricting you. Somebody is trying to keep control of you. There could be legal restrictions here. That really does make this more complicated. If there's legal restrictions here, it's like, okay, wait a minute. Because, you know, if there's legal restrictions, you can't, like, all right, so there's legal restrictions. Okay, so what I'm still getting is, like, yeah, there's legal restrictions, but there may be, like, they are saying, it's like they're saying you're only allowed to go a mile from your house, and you're only letting yourself go 10 feet. Or something like that. It's kind of like you're allowed to go a mile from your house, 10 miles even, whatever, and you're restricting it a lot more, is what I'm getting. What you're allowed to do versus what you're allowing yourself to do. How far you're allowed to go versus you're not allowing yourself even a quarter of the freedom that you need to. There's probably reason for that too. It's kind of like, well, if I keep it this really, really, really short leash, I don't have to worry about it, because even if I accidentally break out of that zone that I've connected, it won't go anywhere near the zone that I'm not allowed to go out of. It makes sense why it's there. It makes sense why this would feel this way. I keep getting, though, that, like, this is stifling the situation. It's not allowing your energy to really show its benefit and what you're really meant to do. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. Be careful with it. You know, bounce it off somebody else. See what they think, of course. Somebody that you trust, that you feel like is responsible with the situation. The Star card showing up with the Nine of Cups reversed. Somebody might be controlling you more than I know. I don't know. There might be, like, I feel very restricted. But I do get that, like, things can change, and that we need to work at, like, opening up your energy a little bit more for those of you who this is hitting with. I feel like it's like one subject in your life. It might be family, might be work, some type of vocation, social group. When I say vocation, I kept thinking, like, maybe there's something you do on the side or something like that. There's a category where this hits mostly. Because I'm getting, like, more energy is going to come forward, and I'm afraid to actually utilize it. There's a moment coming up where you have the ability to expand your boundaries. So say, for the last 6 to 8 months, I've only been allowed to go a mile from my house for whatever reason. They're expanding that. You can go up to 10 miles now. And you're still not letting yourself more than 10 meters away from the house. And it's kind of like, okay, wait. If this is getting expanded, you're meant to use that. It's like, there's restriction, you're overly restriction within those restrictions. Those restrictions expand, you have more leeway, and you're just not allowing yourself to do it, is what I'm getting. And I understand, Leo knows yourself. You know yourself. I get it. Kind of like if I don't allow myself to go to the end of the driveway, I won't go across town. So if I'm not allowing myself even that far, then I don't have to worry about this other stuff. But the energy is becoming stifling. It's bringing down your energy. It's bringing down your influence. It's bringing down why you're supposed to be here. what you're supposed to get out of the situation, what you're supposed to help other people with even. I feel like when the boundaries expand, however you've been handling this situation, there's a lot of earth here, and it feels very stifling for fire. But I feel like your natural reaction to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. Should I expand my boundaries a little bit? Should I not? I feel like there's going to be this need to overanalyze. If you have a trusted advisor or a person that's respectful with the situation where you're like, they're going to give me information and it's going to make sense, it's not going to lead me down a path that's going to make things worse for me, I highly recommend talking with that person. If it's a professional, like from somebody from BetterHelp.com or something like that, which I don't have any codes or anything, but Katie Morton usually does. Katie Morton on YouTube, probably can get a discount code there. If you look at one of her videos, it's probably on there. Use her code. I mean, she gets credit for it, so why not, right? I don't see why that's a bad thing. You can find a different way to success here. You can still decide for yourself what you need to do, but it's kind of like you got to lead yourself forward a little bit more. You got to give yourself more leeway. You got to let yourself enjoy the situation a little bit more. I feel like you're not utilizing your talents. You're over-restricting yourself. Now, granted, I understand, like, seeing, like, okay, I got 10 miles now, but you're like, I don't trust myself with that. At least, like, if you were going only 10 meters from the house, at least let yourself go a mile now. At least expand a little bit, and try to give yourself leeway to expand a little bit more. Your energy is supposed to be expansive. There's a lot more that's supposed to come out of this situation, and ironically, for those of you this is going to hit with, you are restricting yourself way too much. Granted, maybe you have to redefine your boundaries within the boundaries you're allowed. Again, they're allowing 10 miles, and you're like, oh, well, the most I'm comfortable with is 2, because I know if I get that far, I might jump out of it as it is, so I won't go at least anywhere near the 10, so okay, I'll allow myself 2. Something like that. Because I get that, like, your energy is supposed to affect more people. You're very dynamic. You're very helpful. You're meant to be more free, and you're not allowing yourself to free yourself. You're not allowing yourself to be free in this situation. I don't want to discount this. Is there something else here that Leo should be aware of that I'm not picking up on? The energy you're dealing with that might make you feel more restricted than it should be, or like, this energy might not be your friend, is what I'm getting. I feel like that might be one of the reasons, like, I'm doing extra restrictions, whoever I'm working with, especially if it's a work situation, and it's like I'm only allowed, when I'm doing this job, to go within 10 miles. I feel like once I get near that, I'm nervous that this person's going to start giving me a hard time or causing me issue or giving me some type of negative influence. I understand that this might be why you're feeling that way. Understandable, but still, they're saying work out the dynamics a little bit more, giving yourself more leeway. Open this up more for yourself. Let your energy flow. Your energy is supposed to flow. That's why you're a part of this. I think we're there. All right, you're doing well with it, bud. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.